Hey guys, Mr. Webb here. Week 6 of coronavirus lockdown. Um, Craziness that we're not going back to school. I mean it sincerely when I say I miss you guys, and I would very happily be back at work long ago, but unfortunately, my opinion doesn't matter. To lighten the mood, we're going to talk about schizophrenia. By the end of today, you should know what is schizophrenia, how there's a difference between being delusional and having hallucinations. We'll look a little bit at the different symptoms of schizophrenia, and what it means, how you can get schizophrenia, what causes schizophrenia, the genetic aspects of schizophrenia, kind of bring it all together really quickly. So, schizophrenia is German for split mind. There's really three big things that make up schizophrenia. That is disorganized and delusional thinking. So it's all over the place and there's no concept of reality. There's disturbed perceptions and inappropriate emotions and actions. So this is a great example of disorganized and delusional thinking. Uh, this is a quote from somebody that had schizophrenia. It says, "This morning I was at Hillside Hospital. I was making a movie. I was surrounded by movie stars. I'm Mary Poppins. Is this room painted blue to upset me? My grandmother died 4 weeks after my 18th birthday." That's a great example of schizophrenia. It's all over the place. All over the place. We call this word salad. It's just like random words and sentences, random thoughts all shoved together. It's like the filter, like the flashlight that we use for our consciousness to focus our conscious mind doesn't exist. It's everything comes in at the exact same time and it's all equal. It's very, very difficult for people that have schizophrenia to focus. So, if those of you with ADD, imagine if your ADD was multiplied by a factor of thousands. That's what we're talking about. You can see that they are delusional and that they think they are Mary Poppins too. That's a great example of being delusional. So, delusionals are things like you believe things that aren't true. Like somebody is coming after you to kill you. So that's like paranoid schizophrenia, or people are listening to you, or you are Christopher Columbus. Things like that, things that aren't true, that you believe to be true, are delusions. Like we talked about, it's a breakdown of your selective attention. Like the thought hits your mind of Christopher Columbus, and therefore your brain says, I'm Christopher Columbus. Like you're not breaking into its compartments of what is what. Disturbed perceptions, what we often think about when we talk about schizophrenia, what you guys think of, is people with schizophrenia hallucinate. So they have sensory concepts without any actual sensory perceptions. So they will feel pain without actually experiencing pain. So the pain is in their brain. So if they feel like somebody's stabbing them, they feel like they are being stabbed. They can taste blood in their mouth without there being any blood there. They have voices talk to them incessantly, several different voices. Now, this is different from dissociative identity disorder, where there are different people inside, like different personalities that they flip through. Instead, they hear people talking to them or they see people in the room. Like they'll see dragons and stuff like that. Um, that's all an example of a disturbed perception. So, they're delusional in that they think things are true that aren't true, and they see and feel and hear and taste things that aren't true. Then they also have these like, emotional things that are the opposite of what they should have. So they can go flat, so they can have negative symptoms. A negative symptom is when they're missing something. We'll talk about that more later. But they can not have emotions. When other people have emotions, they're just, and they can have the opposite. They'll be at a funeral and they'll start laughing hysterically. And it just, that's a positive symptom. There's things that don't make sense and shouldn't be there, but are. So how prevalent is schizophrenia? About 1 in 100 people have schizophrenia. Normally, it's people who are entering adulthood, so most of you guys are in prime onset of schizophrenia age, I'm sorry. Typically, it affects males more than females, and with males, it's a lot harder. Like when it hits them, it like overtakes them. Malnourishment is actually something that's been found to cause it. And so I'm not like the vast majority of people that have ever lived in Monticello have not experienced this type of malnourishment. We're talking like severe famine, like in infancy and early childhood, will affect the brain, but most people in the developed world cannot get this malnourished. Um, it's better if it hits you all at once. If it just all of a sudden is like boom, like you're schizophrenic, then it's good because that means that they can typically walk back it on your brain chemistry. If it's very slow in developing from like a lot of stress in your life or the malnourishment, or there's a few other things we'll talk about here, that's bad. That means that there's likely not very much they can do from you and you're going to continue to slide. So we talked a little bit about positive symptoms. Positive symptoms are not good things. They're not positive. What that means is there's things there that shouldn't be there. Delusions, hallucinations, inappropriate thoughts or voices, things like that. Versus a negative symptom means like there's something less than what they should have. So like people that are schizophrenic can go catatonic. So they will literally just like be dead to the world. They will sit there like no blinking, no nothing. They will just like zone out, lifeless, essentially. That is a negative symptom. So, um, if you look at brain abnormalities of people that are schizophrenic, it's a dopamine overactivity, which is why you see a lot of people who are schizophrenic get into hard drugs. So, a lot of homeless people are schizophrenic, and disproportionately, like monumentally, a much higher percentage of people who are homeless or schizophrenic. And a lot of homeless people also use hard drugs because of methamphetamines, pretty much any amphetamines and cocaine actually calm down that dopamine overactivity so it relieves their schizophrenic symptoms. So obviously it's not a cure, but that's one of the reasons why they use hard drugs is because it makes them feel better and it makes them have less symptoms. So if you look at this, you can see this is a normal adolescent brain. You can see here that there is severe tissue loss in the selective kind of like selective attention parts of our brains, and is being broken down in somebody with schizophrenia. Furthermore, somebody with schizophrenia has much larger ventricles. So you can see how small this is in somebody's brain and how much larger it is. So quite literally, the person's brain is a different shape and size. And somebody who is like from both parents have schizophrenia is far more likely to develop schizophrenia. Somebody with an identical twin with schizophrenia has a little bit over a 50% chance of developing schizophrenia. If your mom gets a virus while she's pregnant with you during the second trimester, you are more likely to develop schizophrenia. There is no exact reason why they just discovered that. I learned that while Senora Walk was pregnant with my first son and had a cold in her second trimester, so I promptly freaked out. So for your guys' homework, you're gonna get to choose. I got two videos here. Both of them I really like, and so I'm kind of sad that you're not gonna get to watch both. The first one is a older video, but it shows a girl that has schizophrenia, childhood schizophrenia. And it's a little bit messed up because it really shows you what it's like to have schizophrenia and what the family deals with and everybody around them deals with. There's also another little girl inside of that that has paranoid schizophrenia, which is even creepier. Um, you can watch that one or the lower one, which is a simulation of the different types of schizophrenia. That's a 360 video. You can watch it on your phone and move it around, or you can drag and move your mouse on a computer. Either way, it works. You get to choose which one you want. Um, there's some like two parts of the question, essentially, like what surprised you, and second off, how is this video representative of schizophrenia? You get to choose which one you want to watch, but you have to answer both parts. Just make that a private comment, share that with me, and you're all set. Good luck, guys.